Hello everyone and welcome to a reading wrap-up. Finally, another wrap-up. So this one is for the series Takedown. This is a year-long readathon and I have finished it. And I don't know when I finished it, but I have finished it. So I am filming this on July 15th. You will see this. Hopefully it'll be edited and ready to go tomorrow on the 16th is when this should be live. So this was created and hosted by Rainy from Rainy Blue Reads. I will link Rainy's channel in the description box. Highly recommend checking it out. So this one was a 4x4 bingo. And let's just get into it. I'm not going to go into too much detail as far as what these books are about. I just want to keep this short and sweet to the point. And go from there. So let's go ahead and delve in. Prompt number 1, and you can do these in any order, was to finish a series. I read the final bind up of Orange. This is the complete collection, so there's only 2. So there's, I don't know how many volumes, but volume 1 is like 5 or 6, and this one is like 4 or 5 of the volumes. So volume 2, it's a combination. So they took like the 5 and then put them into one book. So I can count that. So Orange. So I finished this one. This one is by Ichigo Takano. This is a contemporary young adult, although it is harder topics, it does deal with unaliving. A lot of talks about that. So just please make sure you're in a good headspace when you go into this. A lot of death is talked about, death of loved ones, death of like a mother, and things like that. So this does have fantastical elements as these kids, we're following them mostly when they're teenagers, but there are moments where they are adults, and then they come to this conclusion where they're going to write a letter to their younger self to try to make their younger selves stop one of their friends from unaliving themselves. Okay, so there's a lot of talk about that. So just make sure you're in a good headspace for this one. This one I personally gave 4 stars, and this bind up was 523 pages. Prompt number 2 was to read an intimidating series. So for this one, I continued on with the Belgariad series. I don't recall what number in this series it was, but I read Magician's Gambit by David Eddings. I was enjoying this series, but then I took a step back from it because I just was not in a good headspace, and then I was intimidated to pick it back up going, am I still going to love it? Am I going to be able to recall information that I needed to? Because it's an epic fantasy. So there's a lot of information, and it's like a lot of epic high fantasies. There's a lot of information. So it was intimidating to pick it back up and continue on, but I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed this series. I gave it 4 stars. It was 346 pages. Prompt number 3 is to read a favorite author series. And so for this one, I went with book number 6 in the Kitchen Witch mystery series by Lynn Cahoon. I absolutely love this series, and I will be picking up a lot more books by this author. For this one, it's a cozy mystery, but fantastical elements as she is a kitchen witch. You have werewolves, you have talk of grimoires, of learning magical abilities, you have obviously murder and trying to figure things out like your standard cozy mystery, but you do have some fantastical elements sprinkled in. So love this series. Prompt number 4 is to read the second book in a series. For this one, I went with another cozy mystery. I went with Death in Dark Blue. This is book number 2 in the A Writer's Apprentice mystery series written by Julia Buckley. This one, we have someone who wants to become an author. She moves into her favorite author's residence to help her. She is a writer's apprentice, and death, and it's your standard cozy mystery from there. So I gave this one 5 stars. It was 276 pages. Six Stunning Sirens, 5 stars. Every book in a Kitchen Witch mystery series has gone 5 stars for me. And this one was 276 pages. Having trouble with numbers today. Okay, prompt number 5, losing my paper, is questionable series. So I took this as one that you're kind of maybe lukewarm and not sure if you're going to continue it. I'm glad I continued with this series. I did ultimately end up finishing this series. I went with Rogue Protocol for this book by Martha Wells. It takes place in space. This one was a novella. It was 3 stars. I gave it 158 pages. I really think I will enjoy, if I'm ever able to watch the TV series adaptation on Apple TV, I think I'll enjoy the adaptation more than I liked the books. That's my own personal opinion. I know this is a well-loved series, and I can definitely see that. There are things about the series that I love. I love the queer normative aspect where everything's just normal. You're not marginalized. You're not ridiculed for being a part of a quote-unquote minority. It's just life, and things are just accepted as normal, as they should be. So that's one thing that I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed about this series. As far as the world building and character development, for me, it was okay for me personally. But I did end up finishing the series, and I'm glad I did. And I am up to rereading it, probably more like as a buddy read, or if it's like, if there's a readathon, it's like, this is the group read, then more than likely I will do it again. So, next, prompt number 6 is to read a book from a series that you think you'll love. I read book number 1 in this series. I don't recall the name of the series. This is a short story. This one was a Christmas romance. It was clean, so it was a sweet romance. This was written by Heather Horrocks. It is Bah Humbug. So this is a Christmas romance. You do have talk of death of a loved one. So in this case, it is death of a mother. And the complicated emotions, you know, the joy of Christmas, but at the same time, you're sad at Christmas because you don't have that person around anymore. And so Heather Horrocks wrote this one, and this is actually set in Utah. So I loved seeing their Utah references in this, as that's where I reside, is in Utah. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 103 pages. For this one, I will add this note. I would do either the audiobook or physically read it, whether it's ebook or like a physical book. I do not recommend listening while reading along, because there are some slight changes. Sentence structures have changed. Things are omitted, things are added, things like that. So, and it's enough of a difference that it, for me personally, did get annoying when I tried to do that. So I had to do one or the other. Prompt number 7 is dual or multiple POV. So for this one, I went with this book. This one is the Rehearsal Fling. This was written by Sophie Andrews. This one I got from my Romance Reveal book box. I have not read everything I got from that box, but everything that I have picked up that I have read from those boxes, I have absolutely loved. Great way to find new authors. And Sophie Andrews was one of them. This is book number 1 in a single dad's club novel, dealing with a lot of divorce, a lot of questioning yourself and your self-worth, things like that. One thing I will read, it says, understanding how to focus emotions onto that thing you're good at. How helpful it could be while also being a crutch. I don't know. I really liked that one. Was there another thing in here? Oh, I liked this one too. Having someone who supports us and loves us only makes us stronger. For this one, it is multiple POVs. You're getting a POV from the male main character and the female main character. So if you like romance, a lot of romances, well, not all romances, but a good portion of romances do have multiple POVs, as you're getting it from the female and the male, or if it's a male-male, female-female, you're getting it from both perspectives in that relationship, which I think is really good. And okay, moving on. Prompt number 8 is a 5-star series. Every book, as I had said in this series, a Kitchen Witch Mystery series, has gotten 5 stars. This one is 5 Furry Familiars by Lynn Cahoon. A box of kittens is dropped off at the home in this one, and there's this side character who you're finding out some more information about. Ends up with a familiar who happens to be this little Maltese puppy. So really cute, and he's referred to as a hellhound in the book. So absolutely love that series. Okay. Number 9, Friend Wreck. So for this one, I read from this series, I think it's the Foundryside series, but book number 1 is Foundryside by Robert Jacksin Bennett. This one was recommended on YouTube. This was part of a read-along where we read book 1, and then 2 months later is book 2, and then 2 months later is book 3. I read book 1, thoroughly enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 503 pages. However, I fell off and didn't continue the series, but I need to, because I do want to know what happens next. Okay, prompt number 10 is series catch up. So for this one, I read, and I think this one was the last book in the series, and that's Enchanters Endgame, part of the Belgariad series, written by David Eddings. I gave it 4 stars. It was 372 pages. And I realized I haven't given the star ratings for all of these let's see, let me go back. Okay, so for the Rehearsal Fling, I gave this one 4 stars. It was 300 pages. 5 Furry Familiars, as I said, is 5 stars. This one was 271 pages. Okay, now I think I've covered all of the books so far. And let's see. Okay, prompt number 11 is BIPOC, so Black, Indigenous, Person of Color. Author series, this person is, I can't remember, but it definitely qualifies. This is by Anna Huang. This is book number 1 in the Twisted series, and this one is Twisted Love. It's your romance. You have perspectives from male and female. And this one is, it's a male-female relationship. Everybody, no matter how strong, needs a little care and attention of their own. So there are some great things that I did underline in this one. I just underlined lines that stand out to me. So things that I could use as quotes. This one I ended up giving, I think 4 stars. It was 341 pages. Okay, next up is a series influenced by, I don't remember how I was influenced. I think just by someone talking about it more than likely, or I saw this and just a real quick liked and they moved on. I don't exactly remember, but I was influenced by this series. So I continued on with this one and I read volume number 2 in Something is Killing the Children. This is an adult horror graphic novel. It is a graphic. You do get blood and gore in this. And I'm here for it. This is written by James Tennion IV. Illustrated by Werther Deledra. I'm sure I'm slaughtering these names. And I believe the colorist is Miguel Muerto. So, really enjoying this series. And I've read now through volume 4, I believe. Yeah, through volume 4. Okay, and this one I gave 4 stars. It's 144 pages. Okay, prompt number 13 is a pretty cover series. I love all the covers in this series. This is book number 2 in the Never After series, or is this book number 1? No, this is book number 2. This one is a fractured fairy tale, and this one is based off of The Lion King. I love the darkness. I love that it's one focal item on these. I absolutely love these. It was the same one with book number 1. It's the same one with all of them, where it's a darker background and it's one item as the focal point. Love it. And this is like a buttery smooth cover. I love this one. This is written by Emily McIntire. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 382 pages. Prompt number 14 is to read a TBR Veteran series. I've had this series on my shelf for a while and I finally finished it. I still need to read the prequel, but The Return of the King. This is book number 3, or part 3 in the Lord of the Rings series. And the reason why I say this is part, I figured it out on my own, is book number 3 for this one starts on page 731. So it's basically one thing, but it's sent to parts. But nowadays we consider it a series. I don't know all the details about all of that, but that's just what I was able to figure out because it starts on page 731. This is written by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I had a great time with this series. This series was intimidating to me, and I still loved it. So note to myself, if it's intimidating, still pick it up because more than likely I was still going to really enjoy it. And this one I gave 4 stars, and this one, once I figured out from the starting and the ending page numbers, this story works out to be 277 pages. Okay, last 2, these will both be ebooks, and prompt number 15 is a self or indie published series. For this one, I read book number 1 in a series. It's a clean romance. It is a novella series, and this one was Jedidiah and Amy by Emma Morgan. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 121 pages. I would also classify this one as, so it's a clean romance, but I would also classify it potentially as a Christian romance, only because there's a few references to the Bible, needing the glasses to read the Bible, but it doesn't go into a lot of detail about religion or anything like that. So it's very, if you don't want a lot of religious talk in your romance, then this would be a safer bet. And the last prompt was rep series. So this one has representation in it, LGBTQ rep, racial diversity, things like that. And I think that the Murderbot Diary series is an excellent representation of this. As I have said earlier, it is queer normative. I had someone comment that word on me on one of my reviews of one of the books, or my book talks of one of the books in the series, and I looked it up and completely agree. It is definitely queer normative. diversity is just a normal thing. You're not ridiculed for being one race. You're not ridiculed for believing one thing over another. People talk things through and learn from each other. You're not ridiculed for being LGBTQ or anything like that. It's just a normal part of life, and I think that's how it should be. So for this one, I used Network Effect by Martha Wells. You will have already seen the cover on here. This one is actually a full-length novel in this series. Most of the books in this series are novellas. This one was full-length. I gave this one 3 stars. It was 350 pages. And that's all of the prompts and all of the books that I read for Series Takedown, created and hosted by Rainy from Rainy Blue Reads. Again, Rainy's channel will be in the description box. So that is a total, if my math is correct, of 4,743 pages. And 65 stars issued. So that is 16 prompts, so 16 books. That works out to be 296.44 pages per book read for each prompt. And it also works out to be 4 stars issued per book. So that is it. Let me know, are you or have you participated in the series Takedown? If you are participating in it, how many more prompts do you have to fulfill before you complete it? If you have completed it, what was your favorite read for this particular readathon? Out of all of these books that I've shown, have you read any of these or books from any of these authors? Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.